Hi and welcome to Hygge and Homeschool. My name is Maya and I have two daughters, a toddler and a third grader. And today I'm going to be talking about our language arts adventure. I'm going to call it journey, a long journey. I had never taught anybody to read before, and I actually panicked when we got to the age where I felt like Mathilde needed to start learning to read. I think it was easy for me to teach her the letters and actually easy for me to teach her the sounds, but somehow, somewhere in between all that, I panicked and I overspent on different curriculums. I was gifted a ton of curriculums from very helpful people who just wanted to help me and give me something to work with. But I think what I learned from our journey and that I hope come across in the video is that I didn't needed all those curriculums. I didn't needed a week-to-week schedule. What I needed was just to sit down and read and sound out words with her. And that was actually how she learned to read in the end. But I wanted to show you the curriculums that we used, and I want to share some of the manipulatives we used, and I think I'm gonna do a more in-depth video at some point about how I taught her the alphabet and the letter sounds, but for now I'm just gonna tell you about our language arts journey to reading and writing. So yeah, I'm gonna flip the camera around now. So I started with this book with Mathilde just to learn letters and little words, little spelling words, and you cut out and glue these in. Mathilde liked the book, but she really didn't like glue on her fingers, so I started gluing them in, and then the glue thing is the thing that made me stop using the book, because yeah, you can see I let her just put them in and then I started gluing them. But I think it's the whole tactile thing about cutting and gluing that kind of made this book unique. We did the tracing, so I'm thinking for Madison I want to make my own book maybe, or where it's just the tracing. I will, if your child likes glue, I would highly recommend this book. I liked it. After the Montessori book, I got this one. It was recommended to me by an English teacher. English is my second language, so I felt I really needed a good foundation and a solid curriculum for teaching Mathilde English, because it's her first language, but it's my second language. So the logic of English was recommended for me. And I want to be completely honest, to me it was not logic at all. It was like I was fighting Mathilde all the way through, like these. She's like, why can't I just write a C? And then the sounds that I had to say, because I'm not a native speaker, like I have no idea. There was so many things in the beginning where I was like, it doesn't make any sense. I didn't grow up with this. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right. There's so much where you have to say the sound and sound stuff out for the child. And I couldn't do it because it's not my first language. I could learn how to read, but not using this curriculum. I will say that it comes highly recommended from my English teacher friend, and yeah, she really recommends this. And I think if you are a native speaker, and maybe if you're a teacher, and if you're used to using curriculums, I will say it was like the first actual curriculum I got my hands on that was like a curriculum. It just didn't really work for me. But maybe it'll work for you and you could give it a try. For me, the logic of English was very illogic and it just didn't work for us. So after trying the logic of English, I kind of went my own way a little bit. I threw everything at it. I wanted Mathilde to learn the letters. I wanted to learn the sounds, both for her and me. So I got like all these rhyming cards. I'm just sharing a little bit of what I did. We did these, cat, hat games. We did alphabet train puzzle. We did big letters, small letters, puzzles and alphabets. I got like something like this, a puzzle where we talked about the letter, and then we had like, this was the mommy letters and they had to find all their baby letters. So here were all their baby letters, and I was like, if you can the few letters, you can write. So we read a Dr. Seuss book at one point, and I was like, you know the I, you know the I, you know the am, and you know Sam. So I am Sam, and Sam I am. And you can already write a little bit, Mathilde. So I threw all this at her, but I still had a doubt, and I still had a little bit of, I don't know, anxiety if she was gonna learn to read. And so I felt I had to get some kind of language arts curriculum. So let me put this away and show you what I got. So I ended up getting all about reading, and for me, I really liked it. We got the Siggy hand puppet. Let me show you a picture. I couldn't find a hand puppet. It's like a zebra, and it talks to the kid. And there's like, we didn't do too many of these games. We did a few of them. I didn't even use the progress chart here. I just found it. And then we had like a rhyming alphabet that we did a little bit. We didn't even read this, but Mathilde did some letters. So we really made sure the letters were there, at least the capital letters. And then there's like little games in between. So let me see. So we got, but at this point Mathilde already knew her letters, so we actually stopped here because it became kind of repetitive because we've done all the manipulatives. But I was ready to like step back a little bit and then just do this. I can't remember if this was for the pre-reading or the next. So I was like, okay, she's way past this. So I got the next level up. And here's where the trouble came. Like, she didn't like the books as much. She thought, I think she thought it was a little bit boring. And then I had a hard time, again, because English is not my first language, to kind of sound it out and figure out where to put the pressure on the words, and there was just some blending sounds that I had a hard time even pronouncing for her. So Blast Off to Reading didn't really work for us either. And I was kind of desperate at this point. So let me show you what I just started throwing stuff over, and I'm going to go fast through it just to show what I did. So I saw an Instagram post or blog post from an English teacher who was like, this is the perfect way to teach your kid how to read. And I sat down and read the book, and I tried with Mathilde, but at this time she was already I don't know, hesitant against the whole reading adventure. I got this one, Phonetic Pathways. It didn't work out for us either. And Mom said I've taught my daughter to read using this one, so we started this one a little bit. Again, I had a very hard time sounding out the words for Mathilde. And at this point in our reading adventure, I was just like, okay, we need to stop. We need to reassess. I need to start over again. So what I did was just get a symbol workbook. A symbol, and she loved this. And we just sat together and we were like, what is this word? What is this word? And these words I can sound out. There were no rules. There were no, I could just say, okay, this word, you know, was. And then we sounded out together. And she loved this, even when I took it out and then I crossed out the ones that you already could. Even when I found it out now, I was just like, oh, I love this book. And the second thing I got was I got her into an online class that was very affordable with an English teacher. And it was basically the same she did as we did in the book. She presented her with little words. Mathilde wrote them down. So she, maybe in each lesson, it was like 20 minutes lesson or 25 minutes lesson. She got 5 or 6 words and then she read them and she wrote them down and she talked about them. And we did the same at home. So it was very, very simple what we did. And then I continued with all the manipulatives and all the rhyming and everything. And then I just read to her. I read everything I could find. We just read and went to the library all the time. And then slowly she started putting these words into sentences and she started reading on her own. And then I felt, okay, now I need a little more. Now we can start writing. Now I can teach you a little more about the language. I'll also say when we read stories, I spent a long time, you know, talking about them. Like, why do you think the main character did this? And, you know, and look at this word. So just basically this book, The Tutor. And then we found Hooked on Phonics online. At that point, she was already reading, but we started doing that. I don't have it anything here to show, but it's called Hooked on Phonics, and we just did the online game a little bit, and had a lot of fun with that together. And then I introduced this for her to get the writing going and the spelling, and I was so surprised that suddenly I feel like it was magic. She could read and spell. And I gave her this book. We made this. And slowly, so we didn't have a set curriculum. And then instead of just going with what was good, I was like, I need some more writing stuff. And so I loved a well-trained mind, and I looked at this. But if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I don't like to be told what to say. Like, I feel my teaching, because I'm her mom and I'm a homeschool, should come more natural. And this is like very, very specific. So I will say, if you love that, then this might be a good fit for you. And I will also say that everything I've shown here, even if it didn't work for us, I will say I was kind of in a panic. I was afraid. Like, could I teach her to read? So all of them, people have really recommended them to me, and they're good quality, and people have loved them, and people have used them, and kids have learned to read by them. So whatever works for you. I'm just sharing our journey through it all. And this one, I think we got someone gifted this to us. I never used this. And then there was this one I really wanted to. I was like, oh, look at all the colorful pictures. And this was gifted. And so I was like, you know what? We're just going to go back to the Evan Moore workbooks. So this is what she did last year. We did this one, and then the language fundamentals. And now I'm just going to show you what she does in a day now. And this was just to get the writing through the hand. And let me just show the books she uses now. So almost every day she does 1 or 2 pages of this one. She's in 3rd grade. So she just started, so while when I'm recording this. So this is just, and here actually I read, you write a Halloween card for a friend instead. So I skipped some of the writing and have her write other things. She has a pen pal that she writes to. We do all the unit studies where she writes. So I'm not concerned if she doesn't write every day. This is to learn the grammar. And then she maybe do 1 or 2 pages a day in this one. She has her cursive, the new one. I just shared the old one. And it's also again to get the hand movements. And then we have the reading and comprehension. I think she's almost done. And I had the 3rd grade version of this. I like this one because I like to read to her and talk about it. And so I read nonfiction to her, and there we do it verbal. We talk about why did the main character do what the main character do, what is the plot, look at this author has it all, you know, getting around the whole book. I'm not going to go deep into that, but I like that I have some kind of reading and comprehension activities that she does on a daily basis, instead of us, you know, it might take me a month to get, if it's a really long novel. So I like that she do this every day, and then we fill up with the other one, and then she's, oh no, she is, I think, almost done. I thought I pulled this out, sorry. She's almost done with this one, and then she'll go into grade 3. I like these ones. Maybe there's an English teacher out there say that's not enough for, but I feel like with these books, she has like a solid foundation in the English language. And then she reads novels now, a ton of little chapter books, and let me share some of those. So this is the chapter books, but these ones she reads to her sister. She reads about 1 a day of these little ones. She loves to read them to her sister. It's just, you know, I can read books level 1, 2, and 3, and then chapter books is this level, like the Renly and the Lost Stone. It's number 1 of those. The Magic Tree House, and comic books, and we get the Lego magazine she reads. We have a dinosaur magazine she reads. So I'm actually super confident in where she is reading wise and writing wise now. And I wish I hadn't gone down the path of curriculums, because I thought I needed all this, I don't know, the foundation, the learning, the pronunciation. And it turned out all I need to do was sit with her, get a few workbooks, sit with her and read. Just get a book, sound the words out, find something she's interested in. She loved the Randy book. She loves dinosaurs. She loves science. Just find something and sit and sound a word out. When they know the letters, it's so easy, not easy, but it's like magic from there. And I should have just hold back a little bit when she was hesitant, instead of just piling on with other things. And I get why she doesn't want to sit just and write if it doesn't make any sense. If we have a workbook and it's like, write about a sport you like, and who won the game. And Mathilde's like into dance and yoga and running, and she doesn't really compete. So that assignment didn't make sense to her. We're writing a letter to her friend, writing about a unit study, writing a poem with me is stuff that she loves. So I try to get her to do stuff she loves and that makes sense to her, more than follow some writing curriculum. And I'm thinking right now that I think I'm gonna make another video where I go more in depth with what we write and how we write, and show you some of the unit studies. But this was just like an overview of our journey into the language arts. So I hope it could help some of you, and I wish I have had a video like this when I was desperate and I was like, how do I teach my kid to read? Because it will come. Just keep reading to them. And I hope some of you could use this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.